Hello, my fellow project managers. Congratulations, those of you who have taken the PMP exam and passed the exam. I keep getting a lot of questions from you about how to get PDUs. Now, if you haven't already joined my program, go on down to projectleadershipinstitute.com. Check out the program I have there for PDUs. It has coaching, training, mentoring, help for project managers, leadership coaching, taking you to that next level, okay? Now, regarding the technicalities of PDUs, you need to read the CCR Handbook, the Continuing Certification Requirements Handbook. And that's what I'm going to show you very rapidly here. Let's go straight to it. So I'll put the link in the video section below where you can go straight to it. But in the handbook, it pretty much gives you the blueprint on how to get your PDUs. As you can see here, how to use the CCR Handbook is the first section. And then it goes into the requirements for the PMP and the PGMP and so on. So let's talk about these real quick. It says, all PMI certification holders must earn PDUs to actively maintain their PMI certifications. These PDUs can be earned through various professional development activities that center on one of two areas. The big buckets, the first one is education. Learning opportunities that allow you to expand and enhance your technical leadership or strategic and business management skills. And the second is giving back to the profession. Activities that enable you to share and utilize your knowledge and skills as a means to contribute to help and build the profession. Those are the two big buckets. So my question to you is, which one are you going to do? Are you going to get education hours or are you going to give back? But there are limits to these, okay? So let's take a look at, first of all, the education hours. So there are different CCR requirements for each PMI certification. They are all different, as you are about to find out. Let's zoom into it. So it's this table with the blue headers there. If you have a PMP certification, your certification cycle is 3 years. You need 60 PDUs and you need a minimum of 35 education PDUs. And you have a maximum of 25 given back PDUs. You do not have to use given back PDUs. You could say, I don't feel like giving back, which isn't very good, I must say. Do try to give back. But if you're not able to give back, jokes aside, you are going for education PDUs, nothing but education PDUs, and that's okay. But at a minimum, they didn't say maximum because you don't max out education PDUs. At a minimum, 35 PDUs, all right, if you're PMP. And you can see all the other certifications. PGMP, you got a maximum, you got a minimum for the education, you got a maximum for giving back. You got a minimum for PFMP, you got a maximum. You see that? So when it comes to giving back, there are limits because PMI wants you to show at least you have gotten some education over the past 3 years. And each of the certification cycles, the PMI just made it easier, 3 years for each one. All right, the CAPM is the youngest of them. You need only 15 PDUs. Education, you need a minimum of 9. And giving back, you got a maximum of 6 that you can do. So those of you that are CAPMs that have given back, make sure you claim those PDUs. All right, now that's the high level, okay? So at a high level, I know I can do everything education, but again, there are limits for the buckets of education. I'm gonna show you that really quick. So going down to the next section, this is where we talk about the PMI talent triangle. And research has shown that employers need practitioners with more than just technical domain skills. Leadership and business intelligence skills are imperative to support long-range strategic objectives that contribute to their success. The ideal skill set is a combination of technical leadership and strategic and business management competency, what we call the PMI talent triangle. There it is, the famous talent triangle. It's a very, very good way of keeping you accountable, making sure you take action on your learning, not just in the technical area, but also in leadership and strategic and business management. The education component of the CCR program is aligned with the talent triangle to ensure you are equipped to remain relevant. So the summary, my friends, is if you are a PMP, you need a minimum of 8 in every one of these areas. Let's take a closer look. If you are a PMP, we're looking for 35 PDUs at a minimum. It says certification and education minimum PDUs. So the minimum amount of PDUs, you need 35 PDUs in education, minimum, not overall. This is just education. Now, what makes people confused is when they see minimum PDUs, they think, oh, I need to get 35 overall. No, and I almost made that mistake. No, it's not overall. It is 35 in education overall. So what they're saying here is, once you get your 8 technical, your 8 leadership, and your 8 strategic, you can decide to get the next 11 from any other area. So for example, I'm a PMP and I end up getting +3 from here, right? Another +3 from here, and another +5 from there. That makes it 11, 11, and what? 13. I still need one more. So I need 6 here because that would just be 34. I need 35. So if I get 11, 11, and 14, that's 11, 11, 22. Oh, I was right the first time. I beg your pardon. I'm right. So 11 plus 11 is 22 plus 13 is 35. Boom, I'm done. That's all that I need for education. Now, if for one reason or another you are not able to give back, you can keep on loading your hours. So I could say, all right, I've got 35 down, okay, and I've got 25 to go. In other words, I need 60 PDUs if I'm a PMP. Where do I get this remaining 25? Well, I could get the remaining 25 as such. I could get 10 from here, another 10, right? Add 10 more, add another 10, that's 20, add 5. And this is education on top of what I had already established as the core 35. The PMI does not forbid you from getting everything in education. If you want to get everything in education, that's fine. Okay? And that's how you roll with this. Regardless of certification, you can load up your hours as you see fit. All right, just make sure you are aware of how many hours you need every 3 years, because that's the cycle. All right, so going to the very first page we were on, you can see the total PDUs required is 60 for PMP, for PGMP, for PFMP, for PMI PBA, and then for ACP, for RMP, for SP, it's 30, and then for CAPM, it's 15. All right. Okay, so now you understand that you can just get education. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so it says the education requirements are further broken down, and you can see them broken down. And regarding giving back to the profession, there are limits. It says PMI recognizes that sharing your knowledge and actively applying your skills is a valuable means to contribute to the profession. Additionally, many find that giving back is an enriching learning experience. How true, how true. Before I started teaching, I started giving back. It is important to note that giving back is an optional. Watch this, because a lot of people say, oh, do I absolutely have to give back? Except your moral compass says you must give back. You don't have to. All right. It is important to note that giving back is an optional manner in which to earn PDUs. The giving back requirements listed are the maximum number of PDUs. So you cannot just give back. You got to learn as well. And the maximum for giving back, if you are a PMP, Let's look at the graphic because they try to help by giving you this graphic here. See that graphic? All right. The maximum that you can get from giving back is 25. Giving back, things like volunteering in a PMI chapter, creating knowledge, and giving back, note, it's also under working as a professional. So if you are a professional project manager, you work in the profession, you can get 8 PDUs if you are a PMP, PGMP, PFMP, or if you're in program management, whatever you are in the project portfolio uh, world, project portfolio program, you could get your 8 working as a professional across that time period. And there's more about that. Now, if you're an ACP, an RMP, or an SP, you can get 4 working as a professional, and the rest given back, you can get a 12 maximum if you are an ACP, RMP, and SP. If you are a CAPM, you can get a maximum of 6 by giving back, okay? And of course, the big buckets at the top show you uh, the maximum number of PDUs across the particular certification. So across PMP, PGMP, PFMP, and PMI PBA, you see it's 60. Then education, minimum 25, not maximum, minimum. Just remember that. Giving back, maximum 25. So even if you wanted to speak and coach and train and mentor your local chapter for 60 hours, no, you can only count 25 of those. That's what they're saying. All right. As far as going for training and being part of a course where you're learning, 35 at a minimum is what PMI is looking for. But if you want to max out on education, go ahead and do that. There's nothing wrong in it. I know people who have gained pretty much all their PDUs from working as a professional where they got 8, and the other 52 are all across education. All right, I hope this makes sense to you because this is a 20-page document, and I don't want to put you through undue learning all over again. I try to keep it as simple as possible. So the CCR process is talked about next. PDUs explained. It says you can get fractions of PDUs. You can get 0.25 PDUs if you spent 15 minutes on an activity. You are responsible for recording your PDU activities as they occur. The PMI can challenge you regarding these PDUs. So just be aware, if you said you got such and such PDUs from a source that is not directly from PMI, not only should you have a certificate of attendance or whatever it is to hand, you should also in your journal write down the objectives of the training. What did you seek to learn and things such as that, all right? So ways to earn PDUs: course or training courses offered by a PMI provider, education events held by PMI chapters, face-to-face events, e-learning on demand courses, academic education through programs accredited by the PMI GAC, and then courses from other third-party providers. So contrary to what a lot of people think, of course you can learn from other providers. If I went for training from John Maxwell, my mentor in leadership, of course I can claim that as leadership. Just have proof that you did attend such sessions and make sure you journal what you learned. All right, PDU rules. 1 hour of learning equals 1 PDU. Qualifying activities must be relevant to the talent triangle. For example, I can't say, I went for a mining program. I went for training in mining. I want to use that. No, you can't. All right, so it has to be leadership, strategic, or technical. All right, so PDUs will be reported automatically if you get them in projectmanagement.com, PMI's website. They got a lot of webinars and stuff people can attend on there too. All right, reading, self-directed learning, self-directed reading that is relevant to the certification you hold. Reading is a valuable component, and there are countless reading materials pertinent to the profession. You can read books, articles, white papers, so on. As I told you, I've been challenged with my PDUs before. You got to have proof, right? Documentation required for audit, evidence supporting your reported learning, including notes, forms, and dates of reading. You know, they love to audit, so beware. Informal learning. Sometimes learning comes through interaction with others. You can earn PDUs by engaging in structured professional discussions with others. For example, you're being mentored or participating in a lunch and learn. Remember, 1 hour of learning equals 1 PDU. Documentation required for audit, evidence supporting your reported learning, including notes formed from and dates of activities conducted. Working as a practitioner, each day you work in a domain area to your certification allows you to apply your knowledge and skills. Using these competencies actively contributes to sustaining and growing the profession. In other words, PMP, you cannot claim more than 8 PDUs per cycle, ACP, RMP, SP, 4 PDUs, CAPM, 2 PDUs. All right, documentation required for audit, proof of employment, job description. Someone says, oh, but I'm self-employed. Well, just get your stakeholders to say you did whatever you did. Create content, creating new knowledge resources for use by practitioners. And some of these are books, blogs, articles, creating webinars, presentations, all of that. 1 hour, 1 PDU. But just remember, this is still in the giving back, and you cannot claim more than 25. Giving a presentation, presented on topics relevant to the profession. There are many occasions where you could give a formal presentation. And just remember, it should relate to the profession, and it should relate to your certification. 1 hour spent presenting is 1 PDU. Sharing knowledge. By sharing your skills with others, you grow the profession and enhance the practices that are essential to your certified role. So 1 PDU for sharing knowledge, 1 hour for sharing knowledge, 1 PDU. Volunteer, providing volunteer services to non-employer or non-client organizations. PMI has an active community of thousands of volunteers. If you work there, 1 hour spent sharing knowledge, 1 hour spent doing whatever you're doing that supports your certification, you can claim that. All right, other PDU policies. Activities you completed before you earn a PMI certification are not eligible. So those of you that go to multiple PMP courses and you have a certificate of completion before you completed your PMP, those are not eligible as PDUs. And I keep telling folks, hey, you got this done before your PMP. Don't go shoot yourself in the foot, because PMI could validate dates and they get mad when you're not forthcoming up front, okay? Beware of that. Further, you cannot claim participation in the same course or activity more than once, okay? So just be aware of that. The same activity, the same course, no, you can't go for the same course over and over and over and over again. Just be aware of that. You get some pushback. If you earn more than the required PDUs in your CCR cycle, you may apply a portion of the PDUs to your next cycle. Only PDUs earned in the final year of your certification cycle can be applied to a future cycle. So let's say I max out my PDUs the first year and I got, let's say, 90. Well, you got 30 more that first year. What PMI is telling you is, you can't apply it. So let's say your cycle starts in 2021 and you got 90 PDUs in 2021. You cannot bank that. But if in 2023, the final year, you say, oh, I got these additional PDUs, then they're saying you can apply it to a future cycle. So just be aware of that. The future cycle PDUs that are allowed, 20 for PMP, PGMP, PFMP, PBA, PMI, ACP, and RMP 10, SP 10, CAPM 5. All right, so these things are just good to know. I know you're certified and you just want to get on with life, but this stuff is important. If you have not paid to become a member of the PMI, your renewal fee is going to be significantly higher, $90 higher. Take a look here, $60 if you are a member, $150 if you're not a member. How much to become a member? Roughly $139. What is the difference between $150 and $60? $90. So you're not really saving, $49. You might as well just spend it on being a member. And then you can download stuff that PMI has for members and enjoy all those perks. All right. How to maintain multiple PMI certifications. Well, this is a whole different story, but here's a good example. All technical PDUs earned will be counted towards the maintenance of the PMP certification. For example, if you took 10 hours project program management course covering multiple areas, including risk management, 3 hours, scheduling, 2 hours, business and analysis requirements, 2 hours, and agile, 1 hour, the PDU breakdown would be as follows. So all those areas that are technical, you could bank them in PMP, PGMP, CAPM. But when it comes to PMI, PBA, you got to break it down because not all the hours were spent in scheduling, right? Those hours that are relevant to scheduling, you can claim. Those hours that are relevant to BA, you can claim. Those hours relevant to Agile, you can claim. That's all they're trying to say. All right. So, and a course that covers multiple areas, you got to chop it into the areas and claim under business analysis, Agile, risk, and schedule accordingly. Okay. If you are both a PMP and a CAPM, well, you've got overlap. You can claim 10 there and 10 in the other one. Giving back to the profession, since giving back to the profession activities are more broadly applicable, the PDUs claim through these activities can be applied across all certifications. As an example, if you claim 2 PDUs for volunteering at a PMI event, you may count them towards every certification you hold. So giving back is a little bit different. Education, you want to pay close attention to that. Your participation in the CCR program and fulfilling its requirements determines your certification status. A certification holder can have one of the following certification statuses: active status. When you first earn a certification, you are considered to be in active status. When you fulfill the CCR requirements, you're still in active status. However, if you do not satisfy CCR requirements within your current cycle dates, you will be placed in suspended animation. Suspended status. It's happened to me before. Foolishly forgot to renew, and then I was in a suspended animation period, and I got out of it really quick by making sure I got my PDUs recorded. It wasn't that I didn't have PDUs. I just foolishly forgot to record them. Don't fall into that bucket. It happens. It happens to the best of us. All right. So there's still so much more stuff here that you can cover, but I don't want to belabor the issue. I think that pretty much does it for what I wanted to cover with you. If you have any questions, if there are any pages in this book that you don't understand, just let me know in the chat, in the comments or chat, whichever one you're on right now, okay? So thank you very much. You're now done with your PMP, your PGMP, your PFMP, your ACP, your RMP, your CAPM, your everything, SP, whatever it is, plus whatever other certifications they come up with. But don't forget, PDUs are very important. For those of you who are wondering, how do I get PDUs in a really helpful and informational manner? Well, I've said it quite a number of times. You need to go on down to projectleadershipinstitute.com. When you get to Project Leadership Institute, check out the programs that we have coming up starting in March. We have the Project Leadership Institute Summit, which is every quarter. You can get PDUs from that. And we have mentoring for project managers. For those who are PMPs who are wondering, oh my goodness, now I've got to bring it. I need help. Now that I'm certified, my company expects the world from me. Well, we'll help you. We'll coach, mentor, train you, and show you what to do on a weekly basis. It's a weekly thing. And if you want to be part of the program, again, the website is projectleadershipinstitute.com. I'm going to show you how to get there. You can also get there from the Praizion site. But if you go on down to that website, you are going to be able to register for the program. Here we are. And that is the weekly coaching and leadership coaching for project managers. We have a leadership summit. It's a very robust program. Keynote speaker for the very first month that we're doing this, the very first summit, quarterly summit, is going to be none other than my mentor, world-renowned leadership guru, John C. Maxwell. And we have a 2-hour leadership summit every quarter, but every week we meet to help people remove those obstacles, blockers. I mean, if you're in a job and you're finding it tough, this is probably a great way you can earn PDUs and a great way you can sustain your certifications, whether you're PMP, whatever you are, right? You saw that list. I have 6 of those certifications, I believe. Well, one of them is now not in existence, the OPM3, but I've got 5 to think about. That's a lot of stuff. Anyway, my friends, thank you for joining me. I will speak to you in the next episode of Life After the PMP exam. Take care. Bye for now.